says, after Judas had taken the bread, Satan entered him. Now I see why Jesus said, whatever you're going to do it quickly. Why? Because I'm not going to try to use logic with someone that's under the influence of Satan. In other words, he said, I realize if 3 years hadn't been enough for me to prove to you that I am worth being loyal to, there's nothing I can say, there's nothing I can do to convince you otherwise. Satan has you acting illogically, and you are about to bite the hand that feeds you. So the text shows us two things. Number one, Jesus is not surprised. That's not my shout. What make me want to shout is that Jesus was also not scared. He says, I know you're gonna do it, and I'm not gonna try to talk you out of it, because I don't even want you to think you have that much power to determine what happens in my future. You don't have that much power for me to beg you to stop lying. You don't have that much power for me to beg you to be loyal to me. If you betray me, God will give me a resurrection. Go ahead and do it. Do it then. Don't just do it quick. Go ahead and get it out the way, because the sooner you put me in the grave, the sooner he can raise me up. Jesus was braced. See, sometimes it's not the betrayal that gets you, it's the surprise. You weren't braced. See, when I was growing up, we used to play dumb games. We didn't have iPhones. We used to play these games, we call it stealing on somebody. Boom, just punching people, right? It hurt the most when you didn't know it was coming. It's when you were not braced for the blow. Jesus was braced. I need discernment, because without this, I won't know when a Judas is at my table. All the other disciples represent imperfection. Judas represents toxicity. And some of us are getting burned because you're calling toxic imperfect. And the reason you're calling toxic imperfect is because you've been surrounded by toxic so long. Your tolerance for toxic is high. Peter was not perfect, but I promise you, there is a difference between denying your affiliation with Jesus than selling him off to death. You need discernment, because if not, you'll throw away a Peter and keep a Judas. You need discernment to see, is that a bad day? Is that a bad season? Or is that a bad heart? Because two people can do the same thing to you and one relationship be worth salvaging, because one had a bad heart, the other had a bad day. One was imperfect, the other one was toxic. So you betrayed me, it hurt my feelings. You didn't set me back in life though.